Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I know today is Wednesday, which is box day, but instead of making boxes, I'm going to show you what's in these boxes. So I went to the retreat this past weekend with Tamika from Scrap the World hosted, and it was just an absolute amazing time. There's no other word to describe the retreat. We had so much fun and so much laughter, and it was just like everyone had been best friends for 35 years type of fun. It was hilarious. When I say hilarious, like I can't even cry anymore because I cried laughing so hard. But what's funny is that none of us have really met each other in real life, only Becky and Laura. And obviously, like, Vanetta and Sharita, they're sisters, so obviously they've met before. And then Carla and Julia are coworkers, so they've met each other. But outside of that, none of us have met each other in real life. It's all online, back and forth bantering. But you would think that we grew up together. It was just such an amazing weekend. And when Tamika does another one, not if, when she does another one, if you can go, it is so worth the money. If you have to fly in, it's worth the flight aggravation. I did, ooh, I have a story for y'all about that, but I don't want to make my video too long. But the hotel, they had to stop their shuttle because they're short staffed right now, and so I had to take a taxi. First taxi driver tried to charge me a ridiculous amount to go 6 minutes up the road, and then the second guy, he was only going to charge me $20, which was still ridiculous, but there weren't any Ubers available, and so I took him, and he told me $20. But when I got there, he, we were talking in the cab. He thought I was Ethiopian. He's Ethiopian. I think that's why the price was $20. When we got to the hotel, it was $35. And it just, everything was just a nightmare. And then I pay him money, I get into the hotel and find out it's the wrong Embassy Suites, and so now I have to take an Uber from there to another place, and it was like, I ended up paying like $60 to get to the hotel. And the first guy that told me he was going to charge me like 50 or something like that, at first he didn't want to let me out of the taxi. Like it was just a mess. But after that aggravation, I knew that the weekend was gonna be glorious, right? Because you get all your aggravation out, all the bad stuff happened when I got there, and so I knew the weekend was gonna be just magical and amazing, and it was. It was better than Disneyland. We just had so much fun. I personally did not get any, well, I don't want to say I didn't get any crafting done. I did get the classes done for the most part, but I know myself. I didn't bring, I only brought one thing to work on, and of course I didn't finish it. I worked on it a little bit. I brought my Kathy Orta King Christmas in a Box, the Christmas Village book, that I've been telling y'all that I was going to work on for forever. I made the house, but I didn't make the album. I cut the base pages. That's all I did. I knew I wasn't going to craft. I don't craft at retreats. I just don't. Retreats for me are very overwhelming because, believe it or not, I'm painfully shy. I know that sounds crazy, but my defense mechanism is to be extroverted, but like it's overwhelming, right? So I just knew I wasn't going to get anything done. So I didn't bring that much stuff. I just brought my staple stuff that I knew we would need for the classes. And whatnot. But the second we walked in, I saw Kyla and I just started crying because, Kyla grew up in front of our eyes. That's Tamika's daughter. And, just seeing her, after I had such a frustrating time getting to the hotel, everything was better. So, like I said, the retreat, there was no drama, no real drama. Like we made up drama. It was like hilarious drama. But that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'll have a couple videos because I don't want these to be too long, because nobody wants to watch an hour-long video of me just talking. Maybe you do. Request that in the request box, right? So There was two main classes, and then you could add on classes, which I did. I did all of the classes. Yeah, I think that was it. So the first add-on class I did was the tumbler class. I was super excited because I don't sublimate. I just don't want to get into another hobby. I don't want to have to buy the printer, the ink, and the paper, and the blanks, and all. I don't want to get into it. But I took the class so I could do it. And guys, look what I made. Why is this so zoomed in? Okay. Oh, no. Here we go. I did a Golden Girls. I put my tape on wrong, so it's a little bit off, but that's okay. I made this. This is going to be my favorite tumbler because I made it. This was my first time. I did it. I was scared to do it because you had to put gloves on and it's heat, and but I did it. I made it. I was so excited for me playing with that thing. No, it did not make me want to buy a sublimation and a mug press, which, by the way, I did win a mug press, but I don't have, like I said, I don't have sublimation anything, and so I gave the mug press to Danessa because she has all the sublimation, and she has the mug press, and she has all of that, and so we made a deal. I give her the mug press, and anytime I need a mug, I just, pay for the blank, and she makes me whatever I want, right? So that works out. Isn't that great? So we did that. The next class was the mug class. Now, everyone ended up getting to do this just because it's a souvenir. So we had a mug class. Again, we had to use the press. Look at my name in gold and black. And I was weeding something and I was trying to figure out where it went. Now I know where it went. Look at my mug. This is going to be my favorite mug. I attended the Create, Connect, and Escape retreat. My little name on there. And it's 2025. Isn't that just super, super cute? I absolutely loved it. You could pick which side you wanted it on. You had to tape it down, and sublimation is a lot of work. Too much than what I'm willing to do. We had to tape it down, make sure there was no bubbles, and then, I wasn't paying attention to the time we were supposed to leave it in there, and you got to leave it in twice, and like I said, it was a lot. But I don't mind paying for these things. So yeah, so that was super fun. We got to try something new. And then we had the other add-on class was this dangle charm. It came in this really cute gable box. This was on the bottom. I just wanted to save it. This was the class kit for the dangle charm. Obviously, I had to break the box down to put it in my suitcase, but it was so super cute. You can reuse your box. It had the plastic tissue paper. And then here's my dangle that I made. Again, this is another craft hobby that I love, but I don't want to buy the stuff for it. I don't enjoy making dangles. Let's just put that out there. But this one I did enjoy making because it was super easy. She already had a pattern. I just copied Tamika's exact. I did not vary from her. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I did not. Wow, my brain is gone. Okay, I didn't change anything. How about that? She did this. I did this. We had a little shimmery thingy there. And then the only thing I did change was my word. Her word was love, and mine said boss, because crafting like a boss. But I did it exactly like hers, just changed the letters. And then she had these little pieces to go with it. I had my T, and obviously hers was exactly the same because Tamika, she had another T or a cross, but it's a T, and a little flower. So I'm super excited for this. I'm putting my keys on this because I love it. So that was that. And then we had the class of the mini album. So the mini album. I decided that I did not like the perforated sides because Tamika cut them all out of her her Cricut, which was smart. All the pages ready to go, scored. Oh my gosh, why can't I get this in here? Okay. It was scored and ready to go, but I don't like the perforated that the Cricut or Cameo or whatever you have. I don't like what it does. So this is what I'm talking about. So I did the book. I accidentally bent it in my suitcase, so it got a little torn up, but that's okay. So I did, I did the book. It's a pocket page book, super cute. I learned something new with this. If you add an extra little piece for your pocket page, your tag will go in smoothly and you don't have to worry about making your tag smaller because you can use the whole width of that as a tag, as a tuck spot, because you add the extra piece. So your glue is not down here. Oops. Your glue is on this extra piece inside, if that makes sense. So that was a good trick and tip. So I went ahead and measured everything and cut it out myself in my own paper. So that's why mine's black. Oh, I lost my bow. Well, it was a little resin bow that goes on there. And we made these little shakers. I didn't add all the stuff on there yet. I'm just really proud of myself that I even did this far. Because like I said, I wasn't crafting. Okay. I don't know what I did with my little resin bow. So this is the stuff that's kind of left over. I have foam tape, I have sequin mix, I have more flowers, some pom-poms, some gems, and all that stuff left over. Plus this cut apart page, all of that is left over that I can finish this album. I have no idea where that resin bow went, and it was super cute. I'm sure it's somewhere in these 9 million bags I have. But yeah, it's super cute. Here's the pocket. They all come out like this. All of the paper was provided to us, for us. This one had like little dogs and cats. I know this is a Mente in my craft room. So there's a lot of pictures of the craft room. You know, for those of us who have pets, well, I used to have pets, but for those who have pets and you got little kitties, you have puppies in there. So just a really fun and super quick album. It was very quick. But of course it took us like 3 days to do it because, well, I shouldn't say us, because some people got theirs done in appropriate time. I did not, because I was running my mouth too much, per usual. Okay, so there's that. And then we had this was our icebreaker. So we had this black bag and we weren't allowed to open it. It was all stapled shut. And we had to use, when it was all said in time, we had to use the items in this bag, and you could only use 5 things out of your stash to make the project if you had to come up with it on your own. And I did, let's see, what did I do? Here it is. I did a mini folio. Because folios I'm quick at. I should have did a box, but I didn't. So we had to use this trim, this applique, the paper. Look how pretty that paper is. Pop dots, which I used under the trim. I did some paper piecing. We had to use these flowers and pearls. There were other flowers, but I gave mine to Danessa because her bag didn't have it. So, and she wanted to use them. So I gave her those. But I used everything except for the paper flowers. and made a quick 2x3 folio. How super cute is that? So you only had 30 minutes. We try to hurry up and do it before lunch. We only had 30 minutes to come up with something. And the things that I use for my stash, my paper trimmer, my glue, and that was it. A ruler. Those are 3. I only use 3 extra things. Paper trimmer, glue, and ruler for that. So that was that. Those were all the craft things that we made, the classes. And in my next video, I will do what we received as gifts and possibly the swap. We did ATC swap with a few people, or I might have to break that down into 2 videos because again, these videos are like, you know, super long. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Bye.